When a business starts missing deadlines, burning through resources on endless rework, and hemorrhaging customers, it looks like pure chaos. The standard executive reaction follows a highly predictable script. We assume the human element is failing. We blame the employees, demand more hustle, or mandate new training programs to fix it. But what if that assumption is entirely backwards? What if the system isn't broken at all? What if it is actually a masterpiece of engineering? Those recurring delays and defects are not human errors or random glitches. They are the exact predictable outputs the organization was built to produce. There is a principle that makes many executives deeply uncomfortable. Every organization is perfectly designed to produce the results it consistently achieves. Here, perfectly doesn't mean optimally. It means logically. Input conflicting priorities into a rigid process, and a defect is the only mathematical result. If an operation continuously generates high turnover, its underlying code is executing flawlessly. It does exactly what the architecture dictates. We routinely hire incredibly smart, capable people, only to place them inside a machine that mathematically forces them to fail. When we ask how a company operates, we are usually handed a formal organizational chart, a neat collection of departments, titles, and reporting lines hanging on a wall. That chart is an illusion. The true structure is the invisible machine, a hidden network of unwritten rules and convoluted approval pathways that actually control the business. These rules act like software code. When a problem arises, they automatically trigger the exact same predictable behaviors. Imagine a busy traffic intersection where violent crashes happen every single week. We don't stand on the corner yelling at drivers to pay better attention. We look at the architecture. We check the blind spots, the lane merges, and the timing of the lights. Spending millions of dollars to train better drivers is completely useless if the architecture of the intersection remains dangerous. Nearly every company has a universally praised archetype, the hero manager, the person who stays until midnight to manually fix defects, bypass broken processes, and personally save angry customers. We promote these individuals. Yet relying on their heroic effort is the ultimate proof of a disastrous, failing system. This dynamic creates a force called strategic gravity. It is an invisible weight that pulls every new corporate initiative right back down into the old, familiar habits of constant firefighting. Celebrating heroics is often just a way for leadership to mask a hard truth. Their system relies on exhausting its best people simply to survive. When operations inevitably break down, modern executives obsess over fixing a toxic culture. They write new mission statements, hang values posters, and host motivational town halls. But culture is not a root cause. It is the shadow cast by the management system. Employees aren't resisting for the sake of resisting. They are rationally adapting to the environment and incentives the invisible machine created for them. There is an absolute rule of corporate change. You cannot alter the shape of the shadow until you completely redesign the machine casting it. To break this cycle, leadership must pivot. Executives have to stop acting like managers reacting to daily events and start acting like architects designing environments. The greatest pioneers of historical management science understood this perfectly. They avoided managing individual people and instead focused their intellect on designing systems of work. The ultimate product of an executive leader is not a strategic roadmap, a quarterly metric, or a financial report. The product is the management system itself. We have to stop relying on new technology, artificial intelligence, or raw talent as a primary competitive advantage. Technology is easily copied, and raw talent eventually moves on. The only advantage that actually compounds over time is organizational capability. It is the system's embedded ability to learn, adapt, and improve itself continuously. Achieving this requires changing our entire operational vocabulary. We have to stop asking, who made this mistake, and begin asking, what system made this mistake possible? Organizations do not rise to the level of their talent. They rise to the level of the management systems they deliberately design.